Well, hello you gorgeous mother truckers, you, and welcome to another video. Right then, so going to be one of those sort of open discussion kind of things, as in I did a video about Trevor Phillips and sarcastically named it Trevor Phillips Awakens, and people have immediately took the umbrage because, you know, it's media and this, that and the other. You see, fully aware that he's still part of the media, and yes, I know he got the attendance figures wrong, but then again, very hard to sort of tie down the attendance figures. But the fact that a known media personality even has the tenacity to go, well, they're already... See, the thing is, I know his report was full of, well, let's be honest, horrendous things. He's complete shock and surprise that actually the people going to a protest were just normal people. I mean, he goes on about, you know, thugs, and as it now turns out of the 26, I think it was, that were arrested that day, 18 of them were from the left side of the argument. So, you know, I think it works out about 6 or 7 were actually from the right side. You see, so the media misreported that. Now, it's been announced by the Met Police that the Met Police didn't see there was any reason or requirement to use facial recognition cameras on the vans for the march because they didn't deem it a threat, a risk. So they said the narrative gets blown. The whole point of bringing up what Trevor Phillips said is the fact that even by entertaining the fact and saying and pointing out how surprised, for whatever reason, that the people he encountered were normal and ordinary, does show a slight shift, because to have somebody in his position say that is very unusual, or was very unusual, and well, in reality, apart from him, still is unusual, because they're still trying to gaslight you and lie their asses off about everything about to do with that march. I mean, they'll go on about the violence, but as it turns out, most of the violence was committed by shock horror the left. So, although it was, perhaps I didn't get it over, more of a tongue-in-cheek title, and I know and realise that he isn't awake. It's just the fact that at least they're entertaining, or trying, even if it be through gritted teeth, to admit that actually the people who are going on this far right march aren't actually far right at all. They're just ordinary people, which helps dispel the lies and the rumours and the narrative. I mean, you know, you could tell by his speech, which is probably why he'll keep his job, because he said, you know, the terrible thing about Elon Musk calling for the overthrow of our government, which in reality the vast majority of people would like any case, because the government we got is definitely not working in our interests at all. And, you know, there was violence. Well, there wasn't really that much violence. In reality, it was because of police's underestimating of the crowd. They didn't know what to do, so they did what the police do best, went into panic mode and caused a potential crush point at Westminster Bridge, which people then went and tried to get around because they didn't want to get crushed. Now, clearly, in other news, my change of religious status has meant that quite a few of the new subscribers have up and left. Maybe because you know, I mean, if somebody said, well, you know, because you're supporting Charlie Kirk. Well, to be fair, if you've watched all my videos, I think you might come to the conclusion that that was always a foregone conclusion, that I was going to support Charlie because he fits my belief system, so to speak. He really does. I find it that it is sad that people have felt it necessary to walk away from the channel, but that's absolutely fine. You see, one of the other reasons I'm really sort of happy that I've come back to Christianity is the fact that it is what it is. If you feel the need to leave because of the position I stand in and what I stand for, you know what, that's absolutely fine. I've actually said on many times before that even if my subs count, and a lot of other people have said the same, in the same position, if our sub counts go down to 0, then so be it. You see, the death of Charlie Kirk was a defining moment in many people's lives. It made you realise why you do what you do, why you should do what you do. You know, and people are saying, who's going to replace Charlie Kirk and pick up his mic? No one can replace Charlie Kirk at all. The only people who can replace Charlie Kirk are others doing things in his honour and in his memory. You see, the whole world is in a very dark place. And whilst it is the actions of people on the left, shall we say, I don't blame those people, because they don't understand the evil that they've let into their own hearts, because that's what they've done. They just don't realise it. They are manifesting evil because they are weak, because they're indoctrinated, because they're told to hate everything and anything that isn't what a college professor holds or what their favourite influencer on social media holds as the truth in their eyes. You see, somebody did quite rightly say Charlie Kirk didn't create psychopaths. He just showed the world who they are. And that's very true. But also remember, Charlie's words were, we have to talk, because once we stop talking, there's only violence. Now, as much as I would gladly become openly hostile to those people ranged against me, I also understand that that's what they want. You see, that's why the United Kingdom march worked so well, because they were expecting trouble, they wanted trouble, they tried really, really hard, including the police, to get trouble, and they didn't get it. And once that happened, their voices disappeared, because they like to prey on our morality and our belief system and use it against us by doing horrendous things, waiting for us to do a horrendous thing back in response, retaliating, and then they can point their fingers and say, see, I told you that's what you were. And that's why we have to not do that. See, this is what the Starmer government wants. The Starmer government wants a violent reaction, so they could just say, told you, far right, evil. And as much as, again, this has annoyed people and people have probably left the channel, so be it. You cannot respond with what they're doing with violence. It's what they want. The United Kingdom march showed that if you hold yourself well, you don't resort to violence, and you just be peaceful, their arguments dissipate. They have nothing. You see, they silenced Charlie not because of what he said, but because they couldn't argue against it. And that's the basic principle of it all. So if you don't want to follow me because I've become Christian, if you don't want to follow me because you think the only solution to this issues that we have is violence, and you think I'm, as some people have said before, a coward because I don't resort to violence, that's fine. You see, unlike many people who do comment like that, because of the job I did before, I'm very comfortable with violence. Violence doesn't bother me that much. But I've also seen what happens when violence is used, and it never solves anything really. It just gives the opposition something to point at and say, see, told ya. Violence is to be used as a last resort. We're not there yet. They're using it because it's their only resort. They've got nothing. Their slurs no longer work. Their words no longer work. So it's violence. Remember which side wears the masks. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be a hard struggle, but we will prevail. And if you don't believe me and you wish to leave the channel, that's absolutely fine. Anyone who goes, may God go with you, and I hope you a wonderful and peaceful life. I really do. But even if my subs go down to 0, I'm not going to stop pushing the truth as I see it, and a message of peaceful resistance. You don't want violence. It solves nothing. Any case, enough of that. I'm done. Ways to support the channel down below. If you do still agree with what I have to say, please hit the subscribe button, like and share. And I'll catch you in the next one.
You said to me that you can't stand the world you're living in no more. I can't say